Let's see, Deborah. The group is a new collective. Yeah, yeah, Deborah. Yes, yes. I'm part of the collective. I'm one of the founding members. But I'll admit that the other guys have done more than me. So there are guys who are putting a lot of work into it. I highly appreciate and value their hard work. Can you explain the origin of the tramlet? Yes, I'll explain it all in a second. Thank you, Anna, for your tip from Portugal. But let's begin. Okay, well let's start this the 17 collective. Yes, let's start this incredible tour. Let's start this exploration of this beautiful city, and then we'll talk a little bit about it later at another time. Welcome to Bendigo. My name's Alex. For those who are meeting me for the very first time, I am from Melbourne, Australia, but we are approximately 150 kilometers from Melbourne, Australia. That makes it about 110, 120 miles from Melbourne. We're in a city called Bendigo, and I'm going to flip the camera because you've seen enough of me, and now you want to see a little bit of this new city. I don't blame you. Oh, would you rather choose to see me than this charming, loved city? Here we are in Bendigo. Here we are in Bendigo. Bendigo is, well, again, as I was saying before, Victoria's fourth largest city. Population of about 80 to 100,000 people live here. It's this city became very, very big following the 1851 gold rush. Too early to see people. Yes, Luann, absolutely. It is too early. It is too early. It is 7 o'clock in the morning. It does look a little southern, sorry, not sudden, southern, quite the opposite of southern. But yeah, so this, and as you can tell, these buildings are all extremely maintained, beautiful, beautiful heritage listed buildings. And we'll talk a lot about, I'm going to do a 360 panning. We'll talk a lot about the history of Bendigo as we go along. And I'm going to pan it along. Now, I like to, before I do these tours, whenever I run tours, I like to just sometimes gauge how the general population of my state and my city understand our state. And there are a lot of things they don't know. Like they don't know who founded Melbourne. They don't know, they don't know who the original inhabitants of this land were. And they don't know why Melbourne was called Melbourne. They don't know why Bendigo was called Bendigo. And when I ask them, why was Bendigo, where do you think the name Bendigo comes from? I usually have a jacuzzi night at one of my friends' houses. And, we've all known each other 23 years. We sit in the jacuzzi and we just chat every Sunday night and, summarize our weeks. Yes, TM, exactly. Sounds biblical. It does, but we'll talk about that too. But they didn't know. A lot of people don't know. But Bendigo began in 1840. It was just a little town, a little farm town, and it only had a few dozen people living in here. And then following the gold rush of 1851, people found so much gold. So if they found this much gold in, say, anywhere of the nearing towns, they found this much gold in Ballarat. They found this much gold in Bendigo. They found so much gold in Bendigo. And it is actually known, to this day, it is the seventh most, just successful gold rush towns in the world in history. But I just noticed this beautiful little sculpture, and we'll talk more about it. So then in 1851, people came to Bendigo in huge numbers. Within 1 year, the town went from a few dozen people into, from a farming town to 50,000 people just migrated to Bendigo for the sole purpose of searching for gold. That's all they wanted to do, search for a better life. And they found so much gold here. Let me just have a look at this. This is called Chase the Dragon by Wesley Tully. And it does look like a snake. It's actually, I think it's a dragon. Well, it is a dragon. But it's a result of an artist exchange program between the city of Greater Bendigo and the city of Onkaparinga. Now, Onkaparinga is a small little city in South Australia, near Adelaide, on the fringes of Adelaide. And Onkaparinga actually means a woman's river. So, but it does look like if you've had a nightmare about tulips, you could title it Attack of the Tulips. But it does look a little, I can see how you think it looks like a tulip. Okay, let's keep walking. So here we are, right? We'll keep talking a little bit about Bendigo, about the origin of its name, etc. But here we are outside this, and this place is called Dudley House. Now, this place was actually the very first government house in Bendigo. It was founded in 1858, right? So not long after Bendigo became a gold rush, town, an extremely popular town. This was built to create a little bit of order and have a place for the government officials to meet up. And look, most of the places here in Bendigo are heritage listed, including this place, and they maintain this beautiful 19th century charm. And a lot of it is also a testament to how this city has become so opulent over the years of having found gold. In fact, by 1880, by around the 1880s, Bendigo was the richest city in the entire world. Believe it or not, it was. Melbourne was and it was interesting because Melbourne was actually the second building in the entire world, and then they used to alternate between one and the other. So at one point, Melbourne became the richest city in the world, and then at another point, Bendigo became. But it was the richest city in the world, which is incredible. By 1880, Bendigo had discovered the equivalent of $30 billion worth of gold. So they were so rich, and they needed to do stuff with the money. So what did they do? They just created extravagant, beautiful buildings. Vera's asking, what is a cylinder? This cylinder is a work of art, and it's just thanking the original people, the Jajawarong people and the Tongarong, or in Tongarong country. The Jajawarong people. We want to talk about Bendigo's history. Bendigo's history extends 30,000 years, and the Jajawarong people have been here for about 30,000 years, since almost the Ice Age. It's incredible, and they're the original people who've lived here, and it is beautiful. And we're not going to go through this whole paragraph, but it is a very thoughtful cylinder that they put there. I'm just going to go down. And let's keep exploring this stunning city. Now, let's keep talking. Well, by the way, this is the Bendigo Fire Station, which was built in 1898. We all love a fire station, but this one has been very well preserved. And here they have, I'm not quite sure about this installment. They did have a Pride Festival here in Bendigo. So I'm not quite sure what this represents, but it has something to do with the festival, and they've installed it on the fire station. And the Pride Festival finished 3 days ago. But let's just have a look at this fire station. I'm just going to try to step a little bit backwards. And it is very well designed. It's beautiful. And just look at the details. Yes, so this fire station is still in use. A lot of these buildings are still in use. They've been protected. And I love this shot. Now, let me just quickly sift through your questions before I continue talking, because I feel like I missed out on some questions, and I apologize for that. And why has the Tramley never been invited to a hot tub night? Linda, well, we're going to have to do that sometime for sure. Okay. What's the temperature? Deborah asked me before. The temperature is I didn't really look this morning at the weather report, but it feels like it's about 17, 18 degrees Celsius. It doesn't feel too bad, actually. I don't even know why I'm wearing a coat. I'm regretting it now. I'm getting a little bit warm now. So what is the population of Bendigo today? Suzanne's asking. So the population is about 80 to 100,000, almost 100,000, but 80 to 90,000 roughly, according to the 2021 census. Okay, let's check this out. This is just a little art installment. Thanks, Dr. Beneta. 64 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's something they put here. I like that. Just, a little bit of knitted post caps. Exactly. Pretty cool. And let's keep exploring. Now, here we have the Capitol Theatre. Capitol Theatre is one of the most celebrated and loved theatres in Bendigo. I'm just going to step across the road and just give you a nicer shot of the Capitol Theatre, because it is, in my opinion, actually, and I'm from Melbourne, we love to brag that we're the best, but I actually think this is one of the most beautiful exteriors of a theatre I've ever seen. And, the Capitol Theatre, Quite quite a beautiful theatre, built late in the 19th century, at the peak, at the very peak of Bendigo's gold rush. Um, and it is really stunning. And now, again, Bendigo, just like Melbourne, acquired an immense amount of wealth at such a short period of time. And you can tell because they spent a lot of that money developing this city into something that is beautiful. And if you look at how expensive this looks, they would have invested a lot of money into this beautiful theatre. Now, you may have all heard of Mark Twain, right? Huckleberry Finn. Um, Mark Twain at one point in 1895 was basically in extreme debt, and he decided to go on a tour. And in his tales, he mentions that he actually visited Australia, and he visited 6 cities within Victoria, my state. Mark Twain actually visited. He decided that one day he wants to go to the theatre, and escape a little bit. So he went to this theatre and he met a man. According to him, he met a man by the name of Mr. Blank. And he hoped no one would recognize him, and everything was going well. No one was recognizing him, but he was feeling depressed because he owed a lot of money. Just trying to, I think he invested his money into something that failed, and then he bumped into a man in the theatre called Mr. Blank. Mr. Blank goes, "Oh, hello, you're Mark Twain." Mark Twain, "Well, yes, I am." And Mr. Blank says to him, "Oh, my name is Mr. Blank. I'm from the Mark Twain Appreciation Society." "What?" Mark Twain says. "No, that can't be." "Yes, I am. We're all massive fans of you, and there are about 25 of us, and these are our names. And we really, really appreciate your writings and everything that you do." Mark Twain was extremely flattered. It made his day. He went from feeling miserable and depressed to feeling incredibly just uplifted and appreciated, right? Mostly appreciated. So Mark Twain took the guy out for dinner, and they spent time talking. And then not long after, and here's the twist, Mark Twain found out that Mr. Blank made up everything. The only member of the Mark Twain Appreciation Society was, in fact, Mr. Blank. He made up all the names, and that was a great way to burst Mark Twain's ego. Mark Twain was a little disappointed. He, for a minute there, thought that there was a whole appreciation society with so many people. But yeah, exactly. A slight con man. Now check this out. I was actually, sometimes here's a little thing that I like doing, I'll reveal. I like walking around the city, and I just like to capture different ideas for postcards. I know Hago is shutting down, but you can still capture this postcard and download it. I love this one. And those who know me very well will know that I love a good lamp. And this, to me, shows the extravagance of this building. Hey, LS, nice to see you. The extravagance of this building, it shows the lamp, but it also gives you an idea of the period, really. And then if you want to add something to it, you can also add this beautiful little colorful wool decoration. Oh, there we go. And it's the little things, really. Little things. I'm just going to do a 360. There's another work of art, because over here there's a university in Australia. It's actually in Melbourne, well, Australia, but it's a Victorian university. One of the best universities in Victoria. Thank you for all your tips. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Tony, Julie, Elisabetta, Luann. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it. And this is just an installment. So this is La Trobe University Arts, and this is an installment that it's an art installment. I'll zoom in. We're not going to cross the road. It's a little out of our way. But yeah, I'm staying at an Airbnb at the moment, and the people. It's actually, I paid for the cheaper option, but I'm staying in someone's house, and I'm sharing the house. And they're a lovely couple. They're in their 70s, really nice people, and they all late 60s. I did not mean to presume their age, but they're lovely people. And I asked them, where can I eat? Whereabouts in Bendigo is a good place to eat after my tours? They recommended this place. I said, wait, where is it? No. Hold on. Yeah, this place. They said this place is actually known as the best restaurant in Bendigo. So yeah, it's really, really, I'm excited. I might check that out a little bit later. Anyway, I'm going to pan a little bit. And here we have the Bendigo Art Gallery. Check out this art over there. Bendigo is a city known for its love for art. It does remind you a little bit, Alpha D, of the Wild West, and that's very true. It is a little bit like that, you know? And look at this beautiful piece of art. It looks like an ice cream that has been smashed on the road, but it still looks sort of delectable, doesn't it? Unfortunately, and over here, outside the Bendigo Art Gallery, we have a skull. But I do like the caption of the skull. Oh, yeah, good point, Suzanne. You know what? It must be early morning-itis. I did not see the face. It does look like a sad face, sadly. Yeah, you're right. Good point. This is a skull, but I'll tell you what I like about this skull, you know, what it says, the quote. And I think it is a very relevant quote for all of us today. Keep on keeping on. I love that. So that's a nice one. I just wish it was maybe something different to a skull, but it does look nice. David says the best restaurant is the Woodhouse. Ooh, Risa, I am going to check out the Woodhouse. Consider it done. Maybe another time. Did the Bendigo Hotel in Melbourne get its name from this city? I know some. Yes, Ivana, that is a great question. Yes, the Bendigo Hotel did get its name from this city. Bendigo is a very. By the way, this piece of art is by Alex, not me, but Alex Seton from our country, Australia. But he lives in Sydney, and he says sometimes the dead are more alive than the living. Deep. All right, let's keep going now. So Ivana, yeah, so there is Bendigo Hotel named after Bendigo. There's also Bendigo Bank, which is one of the most famous banks in Victoria, our state. And again, this is also named after Bendigo. So yeah, too deep, Cynthia, too deep, especially for me. It's 7:20 in the morning. But look at this beautiful work of art. This is just this stunning hedge thing, isn't it? And that's what I love about Bendigo. It is a city, a charming little city, full of art. What was that deep thought Stephanie's asking? Oh, look, I don't even know, Stephanie. I don't even know. I'm just going to do a little, what are we going to call it? We haven't really established a name yet. Let's just go with portrait shot. And I'll give you can take a postcard, but this is fun. Let's talk a little bit more about this. And then we'll go back to history. I want to tell you after this why this city is called Bendigo. This is called Folly, and it's by Sebastian de Moro. It's actually, if you look at it, it's not real grass. It's made from polyester, timber, fiberglass, and artificial glass, obviously. But it is. I mean, it is disappointing when you were told that it's not real grass, but it's still, vertical shot LS. I'll alternate today between Adam shot, Toomey flip, and maybe Alex. What was it again, Beth? Beth had a good name. You all had good names, but I forgot the name. And Alex Angle. Yeah, that's the one, Beth. Thank you. Folly was the name. Right. Yes, Folly, I believe, Cynthia. I believe so, yeah. Okay, let's Alex Angle. Yeah, okay. So the Alex Angle. Alex shot. Yeah. All right. So let's keep going. And again, this is the Bendigo Art Gallery. And you see Bendigo have just retained their beautiful architecture. And you can tell. I mean, it's like you're in a modern city. It is a bustling city, despite its, relatively small numbers. But it does have a very bustling, vibrant, feel to it. It is a handsome building, Deborah. Wow, very good way to describe it. Okay, Alex Angle it is. Kirsten's asking, is Bendigo still a rich city today? Yes, not as rich as it used to be. So what happened was you had the gold rush, right? Now people flocked to Bendigo, and we'll get to that now. We'll talk a little bit more about that now. But people flocked to Bendigo, and it instantly grew into the richest city in Australia, the richest in the world, um, and um, and but then eventually, I guess it was too inland for a lot of people. They felt like, it was a lot easier for people to live in Melbourne. So a lot of people ended up coming to Melbourne. Melbourne had an advantage in that Melbourne is coastal, and that when ships would dock, they would land in Melbourne. So they would come to Melbourne, and then, it would be more convenient for people to reside in Melbourne because it would be logistically a little bit easier for them. So that's why Melbourne grew a lot faster than Bendigo. But Bendigo is, I wouldn't say wealthy, but it is well off. It's a well off city. And here's another beautiful heritage listed Victorian era building. Quite beautiful. Yes, there is a gold mining museum, Vera, just down there. It's a 1 kilometer walk. There is actually an old gold mine. Now, I can't take you there because I was going to, but the signal is not that great. So that's that. Unfortunately, you'll have to go and see that for yourself when you do visit Bendigo eventually. Let's keep going. Let's keep walking. Now I'm going to show you a lot more. And now over there we have the church, the cathedral. You can see it pointing out. It's a Roman Catholic cathedral. I want to end the tour over there, right? And then I want to, end it on a positive note. So let's keep going. Looks like New Orleans. Wow. Okay. Fascinating. Yes, Risa. So it is cheaper to live in Bendigo. Yes, it is. It certainly is. Absolutely. Okay, so Bendigo's Bendigo's history is, again, gold rush, 1851, all the way to the 1860s. Bendigo was a thriving city, and as the gold rush intensified, thousands and more people flew into this area. They all wanted to search for riches. They came from all over the world. And interestingly enough, Bendigo's population, by the 1870s, swelled to 100,000 people. So we had 100,000 people living here, which is more than what we have today. And that was in the 1870s. The city was originally known as Sandhurst, right? So it wasn't when it was first settled by the settlers. And here we have, unfortunately, the gates closed, but there's some artwork here, which is nice. I think this is all part of the festival that they had. But it is so. It was known as Sandhurst, right? All the way up until 1891. I just love these actually. This gate is beautiful. But then eventually they renamed it Bendigo, and they renamed it, interestingly, I think it's one of the only cities in the world that is actually named after a boxer, a bare knuckle boxer called William Thompson. His nickname was Bendigo, but then they just named it Bendigo after him. So go figure. Yeah, I'm always fascinated by why cities are named cities. My friends, when I asked them, when we had our jacuzzi night, and asked them, hey guys, why do you think Bendigo was named Bendigo? They all said, it's basically after an Aboriginal tribe or an Aboriginal person. I was like, no, I mean, you can assume that. It's a very good assumption. But no, it was named after a bare knuckle boxer. And over there we have the wine bank. Now this used to actually be a bank, and now it is a winery. Or they sell wine. It's a cellar, sorry, not a winery. It's a cellar. They sell wine. It's quite beautiful. I'm just going to pan a little bit. And these people, this over here used to be one of the post offices, Sandhurst and Northern District, and now it's a trustees, executors, and agency company. but this building was constructed in 1867. Now they sell. They also sell antiques. Okay, let's keep going. Now we're going to step into the city center of Bendigo. So this is the actual center, the heart of Bendigo, and we'll keep talking a little bit more. So in that time, that Bendigo was just full of people. It had so many people migrating to it, hundreds of thousands of people. Half of Bendigo's population were Chinese. So a lot of Chinese immigrants came to Bendigo and to Victoria at the time in search of gold, in search of a better life. You know, when there was this huge announcement that now there is this incredible gold rush happening in Victoria, and people are accumulating and accruing and acquiring wealth of unimaginable proportions. People from China decided that they want to have a go at this opportunity. So half of Bendigo's population by 1870 was Chinese. It's incredible. Hi. Morning, how are you? That's all right. And I'll just catch up on some of the questions. Let's see. Is there any gold mining news? Yes. Oh, sorry. Does it still have a Chinese community? Yeah, Tony. So it still does have a relatively decent Chinese community, like a decently sized Chinese community. It is. Let me just. What is the main source of income today? Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll get to that. I'll answer that too. So, firstly, yes, it does have a Chinese community now. It actually has this beautiful Chinese museum. It's called the Golden Dragon Museum. I actually try to get us into the Golden Dragon Museum, and it just celebrates the contributions the Chinese population had made in Bendigo. And, you know, they were interested, but then they changed their minds. It is what it is. How beautiful is this? Beautiful sign, Bendigo. And it's just fire designed. How far is it from your home? So, Jan, it is a 1.5 hour drive, 1.5 to 2 hour drive from here. It's about 150 kilometers from here. So, yeah, with traffic, it's about 2 hours. Now, Suzanne asked, what is the main source of income today? So, today it's farming. So, a vast majority of look, I'm against animal agriculture, but there is about 1 million livestock situated in Bendigo, in the outskirts of Bendigo, and they have. Oh, I love this. This used to be the Bendigo. Well, over there you have the Bendigo War Memorial, and then you have what used to be the Bendigo Post Office. But I just love this shot. You got the new and the old. It's just beautiful, and you got the sun coming out, showing us or welcoming a new day. So, is that chalk drawings on it? Yeah, Janet. I'm glad that you brought that up. Do you know? So the Chinese came to Australia to not specifically to build railroads, but it was more so to find gold. And they were given, you know, they were given the opportunity to join in and help the European settlers in finding gold. But then later on, as you know, the gold rush started coming to an end, they found that they were facing a lot of discrimination. Yeah, magpies and crows everywhere, Colleen. So I can't see what this is. Oh, it's a dragon, isn't it? Yeah, it's a dragon. I think we're just looking at it upside down. Let's go the other way. They'll face a lot of discrimination. A lot of the Chinese members of the Chinese community had to, find work in other sectors. Oh, that's better. That's better. So that's not chalk. That is just a permanent. That's stunning, isn't it? Wow. You know what? I did not even think to show you this, so thank you for pointing that out. No, I don't think it's paint. It's like it's a stick-on thing. I'm currently suffering from morningitis, so I don't know how to say what it is properly, but it's a stick-on thing. Let's go with that. Yeah, good call, LS. Good call. How cool is this? Dragon and Bendigo. There we go. That's a postcard over there. Thank you. Thanks for decor. Okay, let's keep going. Over there, they have a kaleidoscope exhibition. So basically, you step into this room. We had that in Melbourne, but I didn't get a chance to show you that. But you know, people get funny with showing people live streams. No matter how many followers you have, they're just like, nah. They hear live streams, they panic. So they didn't really give me a chance to show you the kaleidoscope in Melbourne. They've brought this now to Bendigo for about a month, and it's just you step in and it shows you the sky, and it shows you everything from a variety of different perspectives. It's actually quite fascinating. Let's keep walking. Let's walk now towards the. Let's check out these beautiful heritage listed buildings. So yeah, the gold rush had a profound impact on Bendigo's, on shaping the city of Bendigo, and it left behind this extremely rich legacy that put Bendigo on the map, and that just basically cemented Bendigo's status as one of Victoria and Australia's architectural giants. Yes, this is Queen Victoria, who reigned up until 1901, in which in 1901 Australia became an independent country. But this is a sculpture of Queen Victoria, Queen of Earthly Queens was her nickname. It's quite beautiful. And on the back you have the artwork from Kaleidoscope. You can instantly tell it's Queen Victoria by you can just tell. You don't even need to. Do kangaroos and koalas come this far? There are, in the outskirts of Bendigo, you will find wildlife. You will even find platypuses and koalas and kangaroos, but not in the city. In the city, you're not going to find anything. Unlike Brisbane, if you go to Brisbane, the city of Brisbane, you go to the suburbs, you'll find koalas in the suburbs. And this is a sculpture of John Quick, who played a big role in legislating, propelling Australian democracy to new heights. And he was a member of parliament. So yeah, let's keep going. It's all good, lethargy. We will continue these tours. Alex Angle, of course. For what? For here. There's an Alex Angle, if that's what you like. Deborah? Weird. There you go. Exactly. Hey, I was going to call you Hey Go Noreen. Exactly, Noreen. And just give you a little 360, just to give you a sense. At least for the next 50 years. Yes, exactly. Okay. I'm going to now keep going. But check out these beautiful heritage listing buildings. I don't know much about these buildings, these specific buildings, but I know that they've all been heritage listed and turned into like modern day establishments. This over there used to be a gallery and a cafe. I don't know if it still is. I don't think it is, but they all have their own charms. And I love the trees. And look, it's just beautiful. That's all I'm going to say. I'm just going to be quiet and let you just enjoy as I pan towards our next building. Let you soak in this city, this beautiful city, and then we'll head closer to there. I've got a little story about this place over here. We'll get to there. But I'm just going to now pan a little. And here we have the Bendigo War Memorial. And the War Memorial commemorates and pays respects and celebrates the lives of those who have sacrificed their lives and their livelihoods to protect our country. And this monument underneath the War Memorial over here was dedicated to veterans of World War II and to people who have lost their lives in World War II. Anyone who has fought in World War II from Bendigo, but let's just say even from Australia. Everyone is included. Yeah, Alpha. Yeah, it is. It does get crowded on Australia Day. I'll give you this shot. So you've got all three Australian flags up here. Yeah, TM, you're going to have to work on your Aussie speak, as Alice said. Now, let's walk a little bit. I'm kidding. No. That's funny, Sheila. That's funny. Let's. This is the Shamrock Hotel over here. Shamrock Hotel. This hotel was the place for some of the best. I mean, I wish I could afford to stay here overnight, but it's not cheap. But if you do want the incredible experience of just yeah, feeling what it was like to be a celebrity and visit Bendigo, then the Shamrock Hotel is one of the places. One of the very famous celebrities who used to love visiting Bendigo next week. Oh, Deborah, lovely. One of the amazing. Well, that's so cool to hear. One of the famous celebrities who used to love visiting Bendigo and used to perform in Bendigo regularly was fair income. Was an opera singer, Australia's most famous opera singer called Nellie Melba. Melba, she was actually um, named herself after Melbourne. Melba is after Melbourne, but she used to stay here. And if you want to stay in the Shamrock Hotel, you can actually stay in her room. And she used to visit. She used to have the same room in the Shamrock Hotel. And this one time, she did rock up to Bendigo. She was performing, and Bendigo loved having her around. She was like the Nicole Kidman of the time. You don't understand. Opera singers back in the late 19th century, early 20th century were like the rock stars of the world. So she would come to, no, she wasn't Indigenous. She was not Indigenous. She would come to Melbourne, to Bendigo to perform, and she would draw large crowds of people. And she would generate, she would stimulate the economy for that short period. So Bendigo loved having her. But one night she stayed in this. She had to get up early. She was lying in her bed, and she was trying to sleep. She was trying to fall asleep. But then, and she was trying to fall asleep, and then she slept, right? And early in the morning, she hears this: bang, bang, bang. Nellie Melba lost it. She was like, I need my sleep. I'm not happy. She got out of bed. Do something about it. They're like, we can't. This clock goes off. So no, I don't want this clock to go off every hour now while I'm trying to sleep in. I need the energy for my performance. Well, there's nothing we can do. She stepped out of her room, out of the Shamrock, headed all the way to the post office, walked up to them and said, I want you to turn this bell off for the remainder of the morning. Do that for me. And they listened to her. They turned it off and they just let her sleep in. So that was an interesting story. But Nellie Melba, yeah, she was one of our sources of pride. I'll do a long shot of this. Yes, I'll do a long shot like this. First, we'll do an Alex angle shot. Now, this shot over here to your left is a soldier, and this just basically is a tribute by the people of Bendigo. They've installed this statue to pay their tributes to the Australians and the Australian soldiers who fought in the South African War of 1899 to 1902, and have given their lives to the Queen and to the Empire. So I just love this shot. Why is it cool? I mean, every guide gives it their own shot. I could just call it a portrait shot, but that would just be boring. Now we're going to step over here. We'll take a long shot of this beautiful, beautiful building, which also used to be known as the post office. And that was one of the ways, to give you a little bit of a fact, when a city wanted to flex its wealth to other cities, they would build an extravagant post office. Melbourne did that. Melbourne built one of the most beautiful post offices in the world, actually. Adelaide built a beautiful post office. Sydney built an incredible post office. And Bendigo was no different. They wanted to showcase their wealth by and demonstrate their wealth by building an incredibly beautiful post office. It's no longer a post office now. It is a heritage building, and now it is used. And Deborah, when you visit Bendigo, you can head into this building. It's right opposite you, and now it is used as a visitor center. So if you need information about Bendigo, if you need to know where to go, if you need tips, then this place is the place to go to. So it's been extremely well maintained, and it's a stunning building. Absolutely stunning. Look at the details, and you can tell they spent a lot of money constructing this building. So yeah, you could just call it a portrait shop, but that's boring. All the other guys, Adam from Hungary, who's a great guy, names it an Adam shot. Patrick Toomey from Canada is also an amazing guy, names it a Toomey flip. And I was like, oh, I'm feeling left out. I want to name it something too. So we'll name it the Alex Angle. All right, let's keep going. The best visitor center. I know Sue. I'm assuming, Sue, when you visited Melbourne, when you lived in Melbourne for a short period, you would have experienced the Melbourne Visitor Centre. And they're fantastic. One of the things I love about my city, Melbourne, is when you're in the city, you've got volunteers in the city wearing red shirts, and they will show you around. They'll help you with directions. If you're a little lost, if you need advice or help or guidance, they are there, and they're all volunteering. They're just standing around the city, and they're always here to help you. So I think that's just one of the positives of my city, Melbourne. Long shot. Well, in film, a long shot is a shot from a distance that shows everything. Definitely, Sue. Now, here we have Myer. Myer is a department store. It's actually the largest department store in Australia. And it's mid-range to high-range quality. But this Myer over there, and I suppose the Australians will appreciate this the most, but this Myer over here was the first Myer ever built in Australia. So it was built in Bendigo. So that's an interesting fact. So if you are the original Myer, exactly, Maggie. It's my pleasure, Sandy. Well, he was. I suppose when he constructed it, Myer was actually Jewish. But when he constructed it, he actually decided that Bendigo was the place that would actually stimulate the economy and bring, more wealth. So he decided to he decided to run his department store from Bendigo, because at the time, and I love this reflection of the war memorial, at the time Bendigo just made the most sense, which makes perfect sense. Speaking of Jewish, I want to wish all of my fellow Jewish viewers happy Passover. I was going to stay for an extra night in this region because I've got another early morning in Ballarat tomorrow, which is another gold rush city. But my mum called me a few days ago saying, Alex, don't forget, we have Passover dinner. She doesn't sound like that, by the way. I was like, oh, damn it. So I'm going to have to drive back to Melbourne, have dinner with the family, a Seder, exactly, a Seder, Pesach Seder, and then get up really early and drive to Ballarat the following morning. So it's going to be an early morning for me. So I'll be suffering from morningitis. And this, I love this. So this used to be the Colonial Bank and Gallery. As you can tell, gallery and cafe, the two best things you could ask for, coffee and art. And look at how beautiful this building is. And again, built at the peak of Bendigo's wealth. Yeah, good call, Sue. Good call. I am in love with this city, Noreen's saying. I know, Noreen, I totally get that. How amazing is this architecture? And now it's a Thai restaurant. So again, it is protected. You cannot demolish this building. You can't change anything about this building, but it is quite beautiful. Whose face is it on this building? Oh, it's a good question. I am not quite sure. Well, it used to be an art gallery. It was built with the intention of being an art gallery. I'm going to guess, I don't know, hard to say from here. I actually didn't read enough about this art gallery, admittedly. Yeah, you can So the weddings and private functions for the Thai restaurant. Yeah. I guess that would be a good experience, you know? All right, let's keep walking. Yes, you did, Anche. Absolutely. You did get it right. Let's keep walking. Got a few little things to see. Thanks for the tip. Thanks to everyone who's tipped me. I really appreciate it. Really means a lot. Thank you so much to all of you contributes. Yeah, Corrine. Yeah, I by the end of today, Australia time, I am going to update everything. So I'm going to remove those tools from Hago, and I'm going to upload them on alternative platforms. And I'll let you know which platforms in advance by end of business Australia time today. A speakeasy. Wow. Yeah, Janet. Exactly. And I also, so happy Passover to my Jewish brethren. And I also want to wish a happy Ramadan to my Muslim viewers as well. So everyone's happy. And a happy Easter, upcoming Easter to all of my viewers who celebrate Easter. So everyone's happy. Everyone's celebrating their beautiful religions. And yeah, check this out. So beautiful. I love this shot. This is actually one of my favorite shots. Thanks, TM. I appreciate it. You click on the link, and through the link that TM posted, you can. Now, this over here is the Alexandra Fountain. You want to zoom? Yeah, absolutely. How stunning. If you remove those cars, say it was empty now, you would not even know that we are in the 21st century. It's quite remarkable, isn't it? So let's keep walking. Oh, walking. Oh, across the road quickly. Major religion here. A major religion here is, I suppose, Christianity would be the major religion here. It'll be the Anglican denomination, most likely. Why have the 3 traffic lights? Let's have a close look at the Alexandra Fountain, which is also one of the most extravagant and beautiful water fountains in Australia. And it really does enhance the beauty of this city. And then I also want to show you that in Bendigo, very quickly, they have their own tram as well, but their trams are beautiful. They've maintained their tram's heritage. So you see the tram tracks over here. The trams are beautiful. You can hop on a tram and just get a feel of what it was like to ride on a tram in the early 20th century. And check this out. I just love this beautiful. Yes, Janice, they are. They're absolutely. I was wishing and hoping that a tram will pass by so we can experience it. It's just quite beautiful, isn't it? This fountain was actually opened and unveiled in 1881, and it's named after Alexandra, who was the Princess of Wales. Let's keep going. I think someone left the tap open. How do I fix this? Always bang it. That always helps a little. Okay. But I was just going to show you this. Beautiful lamp. I know the detail is quite. I'm going to do a 360 now. A vertical. Good call, Deborah. Good call. We'll do a vertical. Check it out. An Alex angle. Sorry. There we go. Stunning. And it's a beautiful lamp. And I'm going to do a vertical. You can keep your head tilted if you like, but I'm going to do a vertical, or you can just flip your phone of this. Good call, aren't you? Good call. Beautiful. Oh, sorry, one sec. It does sound nice, doesn't it? Very peaceful. Look at the art. Look at the artwork. It is quite beautiful. The detailed artwork here. Now, will I have time to go to the Sacred Heart Cathedral? I guess I could power walk there. I guess I could power walk to the Sacred Heart Cathedral. But we are running a little late. You hear the birds. I'll give you a moment to just soak in the beauty of this city. I'm just going to cross the road. Thanks, Deborah, for the tip. Let's do another panning. Very quaint, isn't it? Exactly, Beth. So I can't really afford the luxury of going over time for this tour because we are going to head to the Botanical Gardens. Okay, we're going to head to the Botanical Gardens to explore Bendigo's beautiful colors, autumn, lush, green, and colorful colors. So, yeah, come join me for that. Can I tip you? Yes, you can tip me on PayPal, Corinne, absolutely. So thanks TM for the link. So if you want to join the Botanical Gardens tour, you can. I'm just going to get some better lighting. This lighting is very unflattering. Okay. So, firstly, I want to thank you I truly want to thank you for doing this tour with me. Having a bad hair day, should have worn a hat. No, seriously, thank you so much. I honestly appreciate you and value you. And I'm so glad that you gave me an opportunity to show you this city. So